It's funny you say that, Ash. So we actually.
Stop! Why do you say that?
Why do you say that? Hey guys, I wish we could say welcome back, but we're just getting started. I'm Brandon.
I'm Ashley.
And together we are Ash and Bran. A year ago, Ash and I matched on Tinder. I was on Tinder just because I was trying to look for someone long term. I was home from school. One of my best buddies actually went away to Israel, and I played golf with him, so I was just kind of bored sitting around in my house, figuring out what I was trying to do. Just took his advice, of course, when he goes away. Worked out for me, I guess, because now here I am about a year later.
With me. Yeah. Last year, I was on it sometime. I would never respond back to anybody. For some reason, Brandon messaged me and I was like, oh, he's cute. He went to the same high school as my best friend. So I was like, oh, he's probably not weird. And they went to a small high school. So I messaged him back. I'll put the messages on the screen so you guys can see them.
Funny story too. So if I was going to be a girl, really weird, my parents had told me this probably about 10 years ago or something like that. They were actually planning on naming me Ashley. They didn't want to know my gender at first, so they had planned for a boy named Brandon. Of course, my name
so they didn't know what you were until I had you?
No. I messaged Ashley that. That was the first thing I sent her.
Yeah. I think because he was being normal. I feel like all guys are on there just not like that.
Glad she liked the message. I put a lot of thought into that.
Did you really?
Took Sam's advice too. I remember the one thing he was telling me was you really have to stick out. You have to stick out from the crowd, spread yourself apart. And for as weird as it felt, messaging her that, I guess really it worked. He did say it to me before I left.
Aww. Oh, okay. I'll read exactly. Oh, you're gonna see it anyways. Should you read it because it's your message?
Honestly, I'd probably spend reading this over at least 2 minutes. Try to change it at least. I'd probably change it at least 10 times. So I start off and message her. Fun fact, my parents had planned to name me Ashley if I were a girl. Can't make this stuff up.
And I was like, oh, no way. And it's funny because you planned to write that for 10 minutes and I responded with something super uninteresting. Basically, to sum up what we were talking about, we were just kind of talking about what we were doing at the time. I was in cosmetology school and he was working at a sandwich shop. And in the messages we were talking about the place that he works at, and I mentioned a place that was in the same shopping center. I was like, oh, my parents go there all the time, and then he thought I was talking about where he worked. So it just got really confusing and I don't know.
Yeah, I think
for him it got confusing.
I think I was saying oh, I probably made your parents food, but then the whole time she's talking about this pizza bar
You thought it was so embarrassing, and I thought it was I didn't think it was that weird. I was like, it's fine.
I come in with this smooth move. I'm not trying to mess it all up.
Whatever. So at the end, he was like, by the way, feel free to text me. And then he sent me his number.
Probably 2 minutes later, my phone's vibrating with a text. Hey, it's Ashley.
I was like, I'll text him, whatever. I'm bored. For a week, right? We met on June 20th.
No, 2 weeks, because I remember I was starting to get impatient a little bit.
Well, we were I don't honestly even remember what we were texting about. Just random stuff.
Yeah, it was always just about what are you doing?
Yeah.
Well, what shows do you like? I think that was the thing we talked about.
Something funny. I think I told you this. How I didn't have your number saved or whatever.
I did not save your number either.
You said you did.
No.
Oh, really?
No.
Oh, okay. Then I don't feel as bad. You actually never saved my number.
Never saved your number, I think, until the second I walked into my car, getting out of the first day.
Oh, wait. So, what's funny? I didn't save his number at all, which is, weird. I feel I would do something like that. The fact that I didn't do that, I don't know. I wasn't, taking it seriously. Oh,
she takes it seriously, yeah. I remember I worked that day, and I went to, the driving range at night, and I was just, thinking. I was just, hitting golf balls, just thinking in my head. Nice place to do that, I guess. But I was just man, I feel next couple of days nothing happens. I'm gonna have to just move on. And I really wasn't when I met her and was talking to her, I wasn't using Tinder. I wasn't matching with other people. I wasn't going through it at all. We finally decided Panera was gonna be the place, right?
Yeah.
So the original plan was Ash was at this beauty school, and we were just trying to think of what closest restaurants that
to kind of meet in the middle.
In my head, I felt that's girls tend to love Panera. And for me, too, it's oh, I know I'm going to get a bread bowl of soup. I'm going to be a happy man when I'm sitting in there.
When you, said Panera, there's, a Panera that's, in between both of us. I was, in this stage where I really wasn't going to school that much. So, I would go to school and then, I would, decide I didn't want to go and whatever. So, I, told him and I couldn't go to the Panera that was like in the middle of us because I wanted to go home first and change. So like there's one that's closer to me, and I was like, do you want to go there instead?
I remember driving there, and of course she's saying, didn't you say you almost didn't show up to the whole thing?
Well, like, I have anxiety, so I was very nervous. Texting like one of my friends, and I was like, should I go? Should I not go? And she was like, Ashley, like, just go. And I was like, no, I'm not gonna go. And she's okay, then don't go. And I was like, no, like, because I felt bad. Like, so this is like 10 minutes before the date. It's not like it was like me.
Right, yeah.
Like, I was getting ready. And I remember.
This is all me getting home, like, smelling like a sandwich from my work, like, quick shower, and then she's, like, just sitting there, like, already, like, do I go?
It's crazy because this day, for some reason, I kept losing everything. A really weird day.
That hasn't changed.
No, but, like, weird. Like, I just kept losing stuff, like, whatever. And it was making me really late. The receptionist at my work was, like, telling me the story about how her niece had just met her boyfriend through Tinder, and like they went on a date together, and when she went on the date, like she barely like wore any makeup. She was like coming back from the gym. I was like, oh, maybe I like should not wear makeup, because then like maybe I don't know, whatever. So mindset, I was like, I'm not even gonna dress nice, like it's not. No, I know. So then like towards the 4 o'clock, I was like, oh my god, I should probably like look nice. Like, should we talk about how we like got there? What were you thinking when you were driving there?
You leave my house, and like the way I took, there's like this really like kind of like windy but like straight at the same time road, and it like really wasn't that much traffic at that time, so I had just like a lot of time to like think. Once I got in there and sat down with Ash, I'd be okay. But let me tell you something, like when I got the text that she was there before me, like I don't know what her car is, you know, or anything like that. I remember like seeing someone like standing up there, and I was like, oh crap, like it's game on.
On my way there, it was kind of the same, like 10 minutes before that. I was like, I'm gonna go again. I don't know, whatever. To Panera, and parked, and he like texted me that he was there, and I looked at like his contact. I was like, oh my god, it's not saved. Sam's just like a picture. So I looked at my phone and I saw his contact, and I was like, oh my god, I have to like save him in my phone.
See, there's an easy trick to this. No, there's an easy trick though. Just keep the phone upside down when you're at the table. Never have to worry about it.
Yeah, but I thought maybe for some reason I would have to open my phone and like show you something with your contact, and you would be like, why isn't my number saved?
Going into the Panera, and I see Ash, and I'm like, well, it's gotta be her.
We both kind of assumed it was each other. Like, I was like, hey.
Yeah, you said hey first, I think, actually, which is like surprising, because sometimes you're the quieter one, but like, we go in there, and like, you know, classic Ash, let me tell you, this has not changed at all. Like, oh, what are you gonna get? I don't know.
Yeah, that was like the first thing he said to me, I think, besides like, how are you?
Yeah.
We like stood in line, and he was like, what are you gonna get? And I was like, I don't know.
See, me being the smarty pants I am, sitting there like, you know, it's weird. I like do this like to places we go to a lot. I like look at the menu online before we go.
Like, I'm not prepared or anything. Like, I'm never ready for anything. So like, we got there and I was looking at the menu. First of all, there was like a million things going through my head because I was so nervous. And like, I just didn't know what to pick. I should have picked something that I get all the time, but like, I usually get a Caesar salad. And I was like, I can't get a Caesar salad, then my breath will smell. So like, I had to pick something else, and I was like, oh, I'll like put the sandwich on the script. Like, that's funny. It's like this avocado, turkey, something, like 5 other ingredients.
Basically a sandwich that the
like
second you bite into it, it's just gonna fall apart. Like, it's not gonna stay together.
Whatever. So we order our food. He got like some grilled cheese and tomato soup.
Grilled cheese and tomato soup.
Super easy, which I should have did. Remember like the soda thing? We went into the soda fountain, and of course, of like all days, there was no ice. And I remember,
God forbid there's no ice when the stuff comes out ice cold in the first place.
Yeah, so I was like, I don't even know what I got. Didn't I get like a tea or something?
Yeah, no, you did.
Really?
I'm pretty sure you put lemonade in it too.
Then we sat down at this like little table like by the window.
All perfect until this fly. Remember that fly?
Yeah, I was like flying around us the whole time.
He liked us a lot.
Yeah.
Maybe that.
Honestly, it was kind of good because I felt like it gave us something to talk about almost.
Really nervous, but I knew, like I said, once I got in there, it was going to be okay. I don't think our conversation ever stopped. The talking was like 65-35 me, but it's not like she was dead.
It's so funny because after the date, I was like telling Zoe, I was like telling her, I was like, oh my god, like I was talking so much. Like,
and then I hang out with my buddy that night, and I was like, man, I feel like I talked too much. Like, we were there for 2 hours. My mouth is like dry from talking. Like, I need water.
We didn't really like know anything about each other. Like,
it probably said we had a couple like mutual friends. Or something.
Like we didn't like add each other on Facebook or like become Snapchat friends or anything like that.
Got as close to that as we possibly could have, and I think that probably is why it's was so successful.
Yeah.
Another thing I really like too is like one of my
Like, I
pet
didn't
peeves
have
is like
any.
when people are on their phone in public, and like I feel like, you know, other than like her showing me her dog or
Yeah,
something.
we were really just like talking. Like,
Yeah,
getting to know
it
each
was
other.
like-
We like sat there for like 2.5 hours.
I almost asked you if you wanted to get frozen yogurt, but you said the place sucked. We're still here together, and you know we can obviously say we're happy.
Yeah. Obviously, the way that we met like worked out. We've almost been together for like a year.
Coming up on it. I think Ashley and I got really lucky,
Yeah.
but it proves that if you're really looking for, you know, what we were looking for, like there's hope out there, and I think it's a good thing to know that, and I think for the longest time I was kind of like afraid of like like what if someone's like not looking like long term, but like, you know, clearly there's people who are thinking the same thing as me.
Like you just like get lucky. I don't know.
Yeah, I think sometimes in life, just the best advice is just like, I used to feel like I tried to like force things too much, and now I'm kind of like in a mindset where I'm just like letting things like happen, and that's just something I'm just trying to like, you know, constantly work on.
I wanted to like kind of talk about like I guess the safeties of doing it. Like we kind of knew each other. We were like super close distance wise. Like I said, like I knew him from my best friend's high school.
And places she's talking about I know exist,
Yeah,
and
so
stuff like that.
you definitely like should be safe before you go on a date like this because you never know who you're going with. Or like maybe have a friend like be there. I kind of thought about that, but like I thought it would be kind of weird.
I mean, I don't think that's overly
Or
crazy.
make sure you're like in a really public place. My thing was I didn't really want to tell anybody before because I was kind of embarrassed of it. But no matter what, you should tell someone that you're going. Like just in case, you never know.
Yeah, it's always a safe practice. You know, I think that's with anything, just like letting people know who you are, people you care about and stuff, and people who care about you.
Yeah. Bad things can happen. Like we got lucky and we're like good, but
Yeah, we're blessed. But all in all, just basically the message we wanted to spread is just positivity. Like, you know, if you're out there and you're trying to look for somebody, like, I think this really is a good platform. Like, I think, you know, sometimes it might not be as quick as ours, but I just think a good thing we're just trying to do is, like, a lot of times that app just gets a bad rep. And we're just trying to prove that, you know, there's always good out there.
like we want to start a channel together, so we thought that like telling how we met would be a really good way to introduce ourselves, like introduce us like
Right.
as a couple. Yeah.
And it's like, you know, I guess we're hoping too, by doing it this way, we're trying to make it as organic as possible for you guys too, just kind of how like we met. So, if you liked the video,
God, can I do it?
Yeah.
So hopefully you guys enjoyed this and you like us.
if you did like the video, be sure to give it a thumbs up down below and hit subscribe. You know, we want to have you guys along for the ride. You know, we're doing this for you guys. So, all right, let's cut the crap. All right, see ya.
Okay. We'll see you in our next video, hopefully soon.
And we hope you guys enjoyed, so we hope you guys tune in then. Peace, guys.
Better or I don't know how to say bye. Until next time, guys, we'll see you in our next video.
So from Ash and Brian,
Aww.
bye.
Bye. Oh, that would be cute.